was another picture that we took out in the courtyard later that night that we snapped at the deck, and it looked like a ghost dog. I mean, whenever you look at this picture, you could tell it's not actually an animal. It was definitely out of the ordinary.
My ghost story began when my wife and I purchased the McNutt House in Vicksburg, Mississippi. We were looking for some investment property, and we happened across the McNutt House. The house was owned by Alexander Gallatin McNutt. He was the 12th governor for the state of Mississippi. When we bought the house, we were aware that it had a historical significance. We didn't know there were actually stories about its past pertaining to ghosts. The first indication that we had ghosts at the house was when one of the guests came and told us. The night before, he was unable to take the top off the salt shaker, so he just set it down. And the following morning, the top of the salt shaker was sitting next to the shaker. There's no way that anyone else could have gotten into the apartment because the guest was the only one to have a key to access it. One of the stories I have heard over the years is about a little girl ghost in a blue dress. Shortly after we purchased the property, my sister-in-law came by along with her daughter, and she was running around the house and having fun, and the subject of the little girl in the blue dress came up. Our niece came running up behind, and she says, "Oh yeah, her name is Maggie." It caught us by total surprise. We looked at her to find out, "How do you know that there's a ghost here?" And she says, "Well, I talked to her, and she said her name was Maggie." One experience that my wife had in Maggie's hall had to do with slamming doors. She had gone in, and it was very common for us to leave all of the doors open in the building. And this particular day, she went inside, and she hadn't been in there very long, and every single door, front, side, and interior doors, slammed in rapid succession. Scared the daylights out of her. Once we became aware that there are a lot of unusual activity at the house, we thought it'd be a good idea to bring in a paranormal group. One of those groups was David Childers.
When I walked into the McNutt house, I had like just a heavy feeling. It was real odd. It was a creepy feeling.
We opened the place up, gave him the run of the facilities.
Walking around talking, and we'd hear bumps, bangs. It scared me. There was nothing I could do except just look. Later that night, we were trying to contact Maggie. And during that time, we just happened to look up at the chandelier, and it just started swinging. It was definitely scary. We couldn't figure out why it was swinging. Could it be loose wire? Could it be a floor? We went upstairs. We walked around to all the rooms because they were all vacant. We jumped around on the floors. We did whatever we could, and we couldn't figure it out. We were trying to get Maggie to respond to us.
We'll play a little game. There's cabinets in there. You can shut for us. If you want to, you can slam.
We were trying to get something to happen, you know, slam the door, you know, throw something, you know, even a pebble. It eventually happened.
Oh, sheesh. What the hell?
Cabinet door slammed.
Oh, sheesh.
And basically we looked, we were like, what is going on? I mean, it was just creepy. It was really freaky. I really do believe the spirit of Maggie resides in that place.
Oh, sheesh. What the hell? We believe that there are a number of unmarked graves on the property, and my wife has already uncovered one.
It definitely increases the fear factor of the whole place.
We also have a marked grave. It's for Lieutenant David Weeks McGill, a Civil War lieutenant who died on the property.
He is also one of the spirits that supposedly habitate the house. We have actually asked questions.
You understand the union's coming to take over this house. How do you feel about that?
We picked up this recording, and it's a guy on there that says 5-horse cavalry. We were like, whoa, wow, that's weird, because that was definitely part of the Civil War. And that also leads back to the story of David McGill.
There have been a number of instances when people touring the property have indicated that they have seen a ghost-like figure walking along the fence line very close to where McGill's grave is at.
We walked out by the chapel area, and next thing you know, something said, David, David, look over there. I was like, okay, so I look over there, and it's a spirit. It's a full-body apparition. We were in shock, like, is this really happening? And eventually it just disappeared.
The following morning, after David concluded his investigation, he showed us a number of different things for evidence. Some were photos. One photo had a light anomaly, and there's no light source anywhere in that area that could possibly create a light image. What's causing it? I have no idea.
There was another picture that we took out in the courtyard later that night. There was a picture that we snapped at the deck, and it looked like a ghost dog. I mean, whenever you look at this picture, you could tell it's not actually an animal. It was definitely out of the ordinary.
It was almost translucent. I have no idea what that could be.
The McNutt house, I truly believe it is haunted.
I was pretty skeptical about anything that would be paranormal type.
With all the crazy, creepy, scary stuff that's been going on, such as the full-body apparition, the ghost dog, and chandelier swinging.
I have to question. Maybe there is something to it.